be back recording. I want to say I am Val. This is Ron. We're back on camera. Ron, how have you been? It's been a while. Happy 2026.
Yeah, it is. I'm so glad you reached out and were able to continue this. I've been doing great, and I'm glad to hear that you were too. And I'm really excited about getting back into this because we've actually had a few comments on the YouTube channel asking us to keep up.
Oh, I love it. I love it. What's new? What's new for you in 2026, starting Aries seasons, I guess. But now we're in Taurus, so your birthday's coming up. Yes, yes. So what's going on new for
Yep.
2026 for you?
5 more days. Well, I since we last spoke, I have a new day job. I think I
Okay.
was doing the weekly tarot readings then, but that's kind of taken a new twist because probably around October or so last year, something moved me to pick up a pendulum again, and I did. And where before it didn't move too reliably, I've been really connecting with spirit, in channeling, and I'm able to pull through. I guess it's claircognizance when the pendulum starts moving and maybe the first letter hits, the phrase or whatever the spirit's trying to communicate pops into my head, and it's just on fire. So I'm really excited.
Wow, I feel like maybe you've unlocked something or graduated to some type of level. That's amazing. I mean, do you feel different in your body, or is it just a different way of thinking?
But, well, unfortunately, my chase against losing weight's not working so well, but I do feel different. I do feel better. I do feel more connected. And I feel like, we've heard a lot about the fifth dimension, and that's kind of where I'm focusing right now is to move into that. And I've actually had a few 5D experiences now, and it's really awesome. So I
Wow.
think it's just kind of a full evolution time that's coming now.
Or would you But do you think too, though, because just like everything I'm hearing on the news, everything I'm watching on YouTube, and I'm trying to stay away from the news, and I go to YouTube, which is another form of the news. Do you think it has anything to do with the way the world is? This We're in a war, we're not in a war. Our president, he sometimes sends messages of anger, hate, which can divide any country, no matter who you are. When you sit at the top and you spew stuff like that, it can send a negative tone, and just different things happening. I even read somewhere, Ron, about some scientists that came up missing or dead. Like, do you think it has anything to do with where we are in the world?
Absolutely. I think it's all tied together.
Mm.
I believe what we are witnessing right now is the division between the lambs and the goats, is part of the old parable.
Ooh, break that down, Ron. The lambs and the goats. Okay, okay.
Yes, or the sheep and the goat, whatever, however it was phrased in there. But I think that's what's happening right now. It is part of the ascension to the fifth dimension. Those that are currently on the path to remain in the third dimension for right now would be considered the goats, and they're very strongly ego driven. They are very much primarily like the warmongers, or even people who are getting worked up about it can't see beyond that. And there's no right or wrong. I want to preface it by saying that 3D or 5D really doesn't make a difference. We're all going to move forward at a slightly different pace, but we're all going to get there, right?
Right, right, right.
But and I think that I really feel that I am on track, and I've also, on your behalf, kind of done a little research, and you definitely are on track too to move into the fifth dimension also. And for those who are ready and the time is right, we're able to kind of tune out some of the noise. And things like that, and be able to focus more on spirit, and see that this is part of an evolution. It's going to be messy, it's going to be ugly, but it's got to happen to move forward. And we're in that process right now. And the important thing is just to filter out the noise, stay your course, hold on to your faith, and know that it's all for the good.
So, like, I personally feel like I think the same way. I took a class online at the nearby college, and it's world religions, because as I'm learning and peeking through all these different things happening, it's like I always have to understand it. And I don't know if it's ADD or dyslexia. Like I always have to start from the beginning. I can't just jump in and be like, what's this? What's that? I got to go back. So I'm in this class called World Religion, and I'm learning about Buddhism, Judaism, and how Christianity started, and how all these different religions or new world orders or all these things that came about, even Scientology, it started because like an uproar in a community or a level of government where the pharaohs wanted to control the people, and the people came together and they decided to start their own religion. But it all started in relationship or reverence to what's going on now, where people was like, no, I don't agree with you. I think it should be A, B, and C. Now, who knows? I feel like who cares who's right or wrong? It's just how you go about it, right? And taking from one to kill another, or stealing land, or I want to be rich and don't care about the people will never ever be the answer to anything, you know. And I have these in-depth conversations with my professor, and I'm pretty sure him and I are the same age, and a lot of the students are younger, but I'm there for understanding. And him and I have these long conversations about how the cycle repeats each other, right? And we're talking about 1800 BC when these things happen, but I promise you, Ron, it's the same exact thing that's happening right now, right? I'm like mind blown, and he's like, calm down, Val. I'm aware of this, but I get so worked up because I'm like, if you know you're doing wrong, or if you know you've let your ego make your decisions, if you know that it's unfair of what you're doing, I've always thought that some people be like, all right, enough is enough. Let me stop doing this, right? There's no need for a majority of people to be hungry and unhappy, but yet me and my friends are living off the hog. And I'm always thinking that somebody's going to be like, okay, that's unfair. I'm wrong. I'm going to not do that anymore. And he's like, yeah, Val, that's never going to happen. Greed takes over. It only elevates. And then at the end of a war, at the end of a battle is when the realization comes. And that's when the world normally sees, you know, the peace. You know, we even talked about how, because I even said, I go, you know, when I was younger, I was to say, Grandma, how come God let all the famines? How come God let the children die? Or how come all these injustices? If God is God, why did he let all this happen? And she would always say, you know, there's a bigger plan. You might not see it. You're too young to understand it. But back then I was even questioning, like, why? And now that I'm older on, and like me and you and I are experiencing the next level in life where we see the bigger picture, we're understanding, and we're hoping that we're sending and promoting the good in the world to align the right people so we can gather to show more good than negativity, I guess. Because I feel like it's a group of us, you know, coming together saying, don't do this, choose good. I know they came at you aggressive. Don't give that energy back. You know, I feel like there's more of us coming out of the shadows, speaking up and saying, I'm going to choose good. I don't agree with that. Money should not be the ruler of all evil. You know, it should just be a tool. So forth and so on. But yeah, I totally relate to that. And I am getting better on. I'm getting better about not watching the news. Not watching so much stuff, and you know, and I know how the algorithm works, right? You click on one video and then you get 5 others, and then when you close that out, you go to YouTube, phone is listening to you and give you the same videos right back, and then I'm getting all worked up again. So I am meditating more, I won't lie to you, and I don't know if I learned that from Christ consciousness, that these things will repeat each other. Is how I show up in it, you know. When I wake up in the morning, I am not turning the TV on. I'm not watching the news. You know, I know the news is louder, but I'm like sitting there for, if it's nothing but 30 minutes, collecting my thoughts. I am so much more productive when I do that. And it makes a world of a difference, because all of that will be there, but I need to find a better space. Now I'm just rambling, but I think you get what I'm saying.
Definitely. And, you know, I mean, wasn't it Michelle Obama that said, when they go low, we go high? And sometimes it can seem frustrating, right? But going high, it means like I'm not going to do anything or inaction, but that's not the case. Reveal the truth, reveal the honesty out there, but don't go low. That's the important thing. And that was the main thing in the Christ letters. I mean, look at all the things he put up with. And historically, it was a very violent time. You had the Romans over, the entire country. You had the strict laws from the Judaism about you can't eat this, you can't do this. There's all sorts of silly thou shalt nots in their world. And Christ tells us that the world was created for all of us to enjoy and have fun. I really, several times you kind of like mentioned studying religions, and inherently, I think all religions are flawed because they're of a human mind, a human, intervention, and they're setting up rules to control people. And it's a big stretch to go from
no.
Here
I'm gonna give you an example of what happened, because I think similar to you do. Go ahead.
That Christ, when he talked about when he was with his mother, he says, "No, mother, God doesn't control. We have free will. God lets it all out there, and all the troubles in our world are from our own human egos, wanting to do a little bit more for me, or take away from you, or I don't like you. That's all our ego. It's not the devil. It's not anything else. I mean, there are negative entities out there, but they play with us a little bit. We choose. We make our decisions. There are, when the current administration took over and they decided to burn however many hundreds of millions of dollars worth of food supplies rather than give them to the aid agencies, that was a human thing. That wasn't God to stop that. When the Secretary of War talks about a holy war, that's a mirror image of what was coming out of the Taliban and things like that before. There is no holy war. There is no war with God. He thinks that's all, it's foolishness. And human foolishness is all it is. Get along.
I'm laughing because I had I'm that old person in class that keeps raising her hand, right? And I'm surrounded by all these 20-some-year-olds, and I'm like, wait, no, and I agree with you that I'm like, wait a second. So these people were unhappy with food supply, came together in the desert and created a religion and called it religion, right? And that is the answer? That it's nothing but another group of people coming together, making up their own laws. But now that I feel like I'm a little bit more educated, and I'm able to see that back then they had only what they had to work with, right? So that was their answer to it. And nowadays, Ron, today, sure, 2026, and I'm pretty sure if whoever's watching this video, it might be 2030, God willing. We have what we have that we're working with in 2026. And that is, if we know better, we're going to do better. Yes, here are all these great examples of how religion worked, didn't work. You pulled all the good out of it, right? There's a little bit of Islam that I truly admire, a little bit of Christianity that I like, a little bit of Hinduism, a little bit of Judaism. I am pulling pieces out of all that and creating my own system of belief and understanding and how I'm going to live and show up in this world. And that's why I go back to sometimes and read the Christ consciousness, because it's just giving me right from wrong, good and bad. And it's up to me to decide. At the end of the day, I'm not part of some cult, some robot. I don't think I am doing what the set of rules told me to do. I'm just going to go by how people make me feel, what's good, what's wrong. I'm going to treat people like how I want to be treated. And I pray I show up as my best self. And if I'm having a bad day, I am so sorry I screamed, or I'm so sorry I said that. That's not what I meant. It was frustration. I'm having a bad sinus day because I truly believe, Ron, that pollen is really high right now. But just showing up the best way I possibly can. And if that sometimes means me getting a full night's rest, me waking up and exercising, then that is what I need to do. I'm not gonna look for somebody to blame and go, well, see, that's why I can't be Christian. I'm gonna be a Catholic Christian because I agree with how, I should do this and never curse. That's an excuse. Yes, you can have a religion and you can have something you believe in. Don't get me wrong. My co-worker at work, Ron, is Jewish, and she throws in my face, and we're just laughing. She's like, well, we're the chosen people. God was a Jew. He chose us, so you should listen to me. And I go, I know, but your Jewish God is for all of us, right? You're taking that and you're making it seem like it comes off as dividing or divisive, when that was never God's plan. God is the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. He's here for everyone. Not for this set of people or this group of people. Even I go, and I even said to her one time, I go, you keep forgetting, like Moses, Abraham, all these people that had all these flaws, and God chose them to make an example and turn their life around. I go, so no one is no better than anyone. We all show up in this world to try to do our best, from the drug addicts to the parents that may have 16 kids, mistake after mistake, or not knowing better. But we all showed up trying to do our best, and everybody gets grace, compassion, love, and a moment to wake up all over again and do it better than I did the last day or the next day or the day before. So, but it's funny.
Exactly. And yeah, Christ talks about it in the letters, and I truly believe it, that all these written works that were prepared by humans are very heavily tainted with human emotions of how to do things. And the only thing Christ brought us that was different was love God, love yourself and your neighbor. Right?
I agree.
Anything else is out of the picture. So when you talk about whichever group, whether it was Jews or whoever Muhammad originally came to or whatever, those were the core messages by any of these people that are now ascended masters. Is love. It's forgiveness.
Yes.
The rest of it, you can throw it out. It doesn't play. It's all man-made, contrived BS.
100%. 100%. So I want to end with us saying, hey, we are still studying the Christ consciousness. This is something that we are doing ongoing all the time. Last month may have been a month of graduations and birthdays, but the month up and coming, I'll have time to read more. And it doesn't really matter what religion you are. You can be whatever you want. Most of the times we adopt the religions based on our parents or what we did when we were younger, or someone introduced us to something new and we take an interest to it. That's fine. You going to a place or a house of worship will never change how you feel. And if you show up every single day feeling good about yourself, and if you need a reminder, you too can read the Christ Consciousness. This is all online for free. We use it as a tool to just sometimes help me remember. Just like they say, if you read a book a day or you do a crossword, it keeps the words and the things kind of stirring in your head so you won't forget them as quickly. They're just like memory tools. So we are still reading the Christ Consciousness. Don't be like us and get caught up in the news. If you need something else to read or watch, just tap out for a moment, disconnect from it. Don't let it overly consume you, and show up to be your best. And I'll let Ron close us out, but I'm glad to be back. I hope all good and great things to everyone. Truly we do. And I'll let Ron close us out.
Thanks, Val. And I do publish a weekly reading. It's on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. And it's got a suggestion for the week of something, what is going to, how to approach it, whatever. And most recently, like I said, I've also done a lot of channelings, and they're very positive messages, typically from archangels, although I've had one previously from Mary Magdalene, and this week is also going to be, let's say, sponsored by Mary Magdalene. She offered to give the reading, channeling for this week, and it's all
Nice.
very positive, very high. It doesn't necessarily relate with what's going on in the world right now. It's just encouraging words, and if you can get into that message, it'll make your week better. I guarantee it.
Awesome. All right, guys, we will see you in our next video, and thank you for watching.
Bye bye.